Innovation can only take place in the next curve. So if you want to innovate, you'll have to jump to the next curve. And I'll explain what I mean in this video. Hi, my name is Dr. Nasar Ali from YPS, where I'm here to help you to develop yourself with a special focus on 3 pillars: innovation, communication, and leadership. Now, in the modern world that we live in today, it's imperative that you need to become more creative and more innovative in order to deal with the challenges that the world throws at us. And we're just slowly starting to get used to back to some form of normality after going through a COVID pandemic. And who knows, maybe around the corner, a bigger pandemic waits for us. I hope not. But anyway, we need to be, as humans, need to be more creative and more innovative. And some gurus have said that if you want to innovate, innovation can never take place on the same curve. So in order to innovate, you need to jump to the next curve. So it's a bit like stepping outside your comfort zone. So if you want to innovate, you'll need to jump to the next curve. And I would like to give you an example to explain what I mean by jumping to the next curve. If you go back in the 1800s, ice was harvested. So if you wanted to have ice in your home to preserve your food, then you'd go to an ice harvester, where people would go to places where there's ponds or some rivers, and they'll use some big saws to cut these blocks of ice and then distribute them and transport them to people, then people will buy them. And that can only take place, ice harvesting, in a winter weather in a cold country, and especially where there's lakes and there's rivers there. So that is one. If you view ice harvesting as one curve, then that's the curve that you're on, and that's how you obtain your ice. And then what happened in the 1900s was that there were ice factories. So then you no longer have to go to a cold country during winter weather close to the river to get your ice. You can actually produce the same ice, blocks of ice, in a factory, and then people can come to the factory and purchase or buy their ice. So that ice factory is another curve. So if you want to go from ice harvesting to ice factories, you'll have to jump the curve and go to the ice factories. And then what happened some years later, after the ice factories were around, the first refrigerator was developed. So instead of having to go to an ice factory, you can actually have the ice factory in your own home. So that refrigerator was another curve. So we could see that from ice harvesting to ice factories to a refrigerator being in every home is the 3 curves. And unfortunately, the people who were doing ice harvesting did not jump the curve and start the factories, ice factories. And the ice factory people did not jump the curve, and they did not design or develop the refrigerator. There were different people who were doing the different things. But then I'll give you another example of iPhone. iPhone was one of the first phones with a touch screen and a single button. And that was a game changer in 3 industries. First, it was in the smartphone industry, where the touch phones, people were able to play games and everything using a touch screen on the mobile. And secondly, it was the health industry, where people were able to monitor their health with the number of steps, the blood pressure, and things like this. So from the same device, you could also monitor and check your health. And third was the music industry. Through iTunes, Apple were able to offer their customers a different way of buying music digitally. So there were 3 industries that iPhone was a game changer in, and it knew that it has to jump the curve to innovate. So it's very, very important that if you want to innovate, you need to jump to the next curve. And it's important that we're more innovative and more creative, especially in this modern world or volatile world.